Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine. I'm Catherine, and we're trying something a little bit new and different for 2026. I hope you all like this new look. It's going to be an adjustment for a couple months, but we'll get it. I hope it works, and I think it looks pretty good so far. So let's get to the 4 sketches for the January 2026 Creative Memories virtual crop. You all voted on my community tab. And here come the sketches with maybe an extra surprise in for you all as well. Here we go. Let's give it a go. For our first sketch, we are going to be working with the Winter Bliss collection. Here is the sketch, and well, I just realized I'm not going to be able to see your comments, but I will adjust that when I am done with this layout. Winter Bliss collection. We are going to be using the snowflake, the gray snowflake page. It's the one with the sweater pattern on the back of it, the blue sweater pattern. And we're going to be using this for both sides of the page. Goodness gracious, I have some of my right side papers stuck to my left side paper. I think just because thought I was ready to live stream anyways. I have navy cardstock that we're adding with it, and I forgot to bring in to show you all what we're doing with this. I pulled out my admission ticket border punch, and I used a little bit of platinum shimmer, and I punched a little bit extra just in case I might need it. I also have a little bit of extra navy cardstock just kind of on hand. Once I get the layout done, I may be adding a little bit to it. I'm not sure. I just wanted to have it around just in case, because this one is pretty simple compared to what the sketch is showing. I definitely did a little bit of a different twist on this layout. We're also using our Ancient Key Border Maker cartridge as well in this one. And the first thing I did was I cut a piece of our navy cardstock to 5.5 inches by 11.5 inches, and then I punched the top and the bottom of our navy cardstock with the Ancient Key Border Maker cartridge. Now the Border Maker cartridge is essentially both a punch out and an edge Border Maker cartridge, so I could have cut it off and used it to decorate the page, but I wanted to leave it as an accent with our navy. However, when I put the punched out part over my gray snowflake designer paper, it didn't look good, so I cut some strips. These are 1-inch strips. It's 1 inch by 5.5 inches of our cool gray cardstock. I've gone ahead and stuck it down just to save a little bit of extra time, and we are going to be placing this along the left side of our page. Let me get the correct tape runner here to put this down. Move my card box just a little bit, and I do need my zero centering ruler as well, because we are going to leave a 1/4 inch margin all the way around all 3 edges of this. So like I said, this piece is 11.5 inches, and we're just going to place this here, giving us a really nice 1/4 inch margin along 3 edges of it, so you see it framed out by our paper here. And then I also went ahead and cut a 3.5 inch by 5 3/4 inch. This is essentially a scrap from the other side of our layout, which you'll see in just a moment. And I actually need to place my border sticker before I place my other mat, because this one is going to be running through both sides of our page. I'm going to bring in my other side of the page, because we're going to run it through, and this kind of is when I take a sketch and go from being a single page layout to a double page layout. There's definitely many different approaches to do this, and I think I change it up just about every time I do it. Okay, I do need to place my other side first before I even do this as well. So we're gonna work on both sides at the same time, basically, which is also something I usually don't do. But we're gonna give it a go here. Let me get my other pieces of navy cardstock here, and I will talk you through what I've done. The same thing, 5.5 inches by 11.5. And I did take the 1 inch strip again along the back side. We're going to go ahead and place this with that 1/4 inch margin again. We have the inch of the cool gray along the top and the bottom, so that way you can see your ancient key. And let me grab my 0 centering ruler again. We're just going to place it 1/4 inch in because there are grid lines running both ways along this ruler. And I don't know if y'all have seen the new ruler that just came out that goes with our 13 by 13 cutting mats. I may have to pull mine out in a little bit. We'll see. That looks pretty good. Let me move that out of the way so I don't stick my mat to that. And then we have an 8.5 inch by 5 3/4 inch that I'm layering just a little bit over our 5.5 by 11.5. So this is gonna just add a little bit of interest as well. Let me find my tape runner again. Boy, and we have construction going on in our neighborhood again, so I apologize if you can hear the chronic beeping going on. It just is one of those things where it seems like I cannot avoid any day without construction going on with filming or live streaming anymore. I don't know what to tell you. It's definitely not my favorite thing to be doing. Okay, so I'm giving it about 1/2 inch down. Feels like I'm not straight, which I don't think I am. I'm trying to go 1/2 inch from the bottom of my ancient key here, and then I'm going 1/4 inch in, and that's a little bit over. So it probably would be closer to 5/8. I'm going to tap this down just a hair before I press it down to make it so it's exactly centered. And here we go. Okay, now we can run our border stickers through both of our pages because these are going to go layered and they should be underneath this other one. Alright, well, we'll just wing it here a little bit. It's okay. We're kind of running through our paper along the line of our paper, and actually we could just cut this right in half on our trimmer because it looks like we're going to run right through the center of one of the diamonds on our sticker right here, and then we're going to put a second one right above it. Because we had 2 of these snowflake chain stickers in our border pack, and I think I'm going to go just a little bit lower, and we're going to run it just right along the bottom edge of our paper here. Try to line them up as best you can. I am overlapping by maybe a 1/16 of an inch, and I'm going to put this mat down, and then I'm going to grab my scissors, and this one is essentially bumping up right to our other navy piece here. So coming out from the bottom, so you have about maybe 1/4 inch as well along the bottom. I think we're just doing 1/4 inch margins all the way through. Flip your paper over. You can fold it a little bit. You probably would have been easier if I'd done this from the bottom instead of the top part. You have a little bit of overlap. I'm just going to trim that off just a hair here, and it's okay. Because remember, in your album, your pages are going to be separated just a little bit. All right, give me just a moment here to check one thing real quick. All right. And so we have our bases done here. I'm going to go ahead and show you the sketch again real quick and explain a little bit of what I did. This is one of the things I want to do in 2026 also for you all. So there were definitely the two borders. It just looked like the bottom of the page was a little bit more. So that's what inspired me to grab the border stickers and run them on the bottom. I love that it was the same pattern as our designer paper here. I mean, we will have a little bit of white space as well. And this is what, this ruffle here, I'm guessing other people are doing different things, which is great, but it just what's inspired me to pull out the ancient key. I just thought the ancient key, it just adds a really beautiful decorative touch that just went with what's on our paper already as well. And then the mats, I just didn't necessarily want to do the banners again, I guess, if you will. So I like leaving myself options so that way I can, if I want to do two or three horizontal photos or even a couple of vertical photos, I could do a vertical photo here as well. But I'll show you all at the end with some photo mats. But that's kind of what I was thinking. And then adding the second page, like I said, just drawing from here. I knew I was going to mimic this, I didn't know. And then it just seemed like we needed a little bit more photo mat allowance, but I just like the idea of the layering, because on here they show a little bit more layering, but it just worked out with having it next to it on this side, and I layered it a little more on this side. So there's definitely a lot of flexibility of where we can go with our photos. Okay, so like I mentioned, we have our admission ticket, and I just thought this was something that kind of spoke to me as far as winter. And so if you go skiing or if you're going to go on a sled hill, a lot of times you have those tickets that you just hang on your neck or hang on wherever now. I don't know, back in the day they used to hang them. Now that's probably on your phone, but you know, this is kind of I guess a homage to what used to be back in the day. And so we are going to run this across this left side up here. It's going to go behind our base here. So let me grab my multi-purpose tool and lift this up just a little so I can get my ticket under, because we want our photos to be the main feature. Okay, just push that down a little bit, push it under, and all is good there. We also have a Snow Day Shenanigan sticker that's going to go on top of our platinum ticket here, platinum shimmer. I'm going to grab a few foam squares. That's exactly what I grabbed, was just a few. I don't have very many left on this sheet, but I think I can make it work. Well, maybe not for the ends. We are going to grab a couple more small ones. There we go. And take care of that. Grab this, stuck to my finger here. Okay. Onto the sticker, not my finger. Pull these off. And okay. So here comes our Snow Day Shenanigans, kind of centered on your ticket here. And then to get our snowman. And I also have a couple of other partial tickets that punched when I did the punch, and I just cut them. I don't know, I think, because you have these ends that are partial, so that's what this little one is, and then I think I was using a scrap, and so that's how I wound up with this longer one. So we're going to add our snowman sticker up here, because there's also sometimes sled hills that you might need a ticket for. Although I don't know, my kids, when they were young, we were in Washington State, and Mount Rainier was their sled hill, which, was pretty cool at the time. They had a lot of fun. It was a pretty awesome sled hill. Not quite a hill. And we are going to place our tickets kind of together, but coming out from behind our mat here. So we have one going left and one coming to the right, and I don't know why I keep losing hair, but we don't want that in our layout. There we go. So we have our 2 tickets behind, we have our border sticker, and then we have these 2 little snowflakes. And like I said, this is really just a simple layout. Simplified what was on the sketch, adding in just a little bit here and there, and this is done. I don't think I want to add any more. I think I'm going to stick with where I designed it, where I drew it up, and this is it. Sometimes simple can be good. All right. Let me pull in some photo cards. And I will show you photo placement real quick. I mean, you can do some 4x4s if you want. I tend to really like to do full-size photos, full 4x6s. I mean, I do a lot of times wind up trimming my photos, but you can easily do. Okay. Sometimes there's only so much space on the desk. And so this might, if you do a full-size one here, it's going to cover up part of your border sticker. I probably wouldn't do that. Let me grab a couple of the 3.5 by 5.5 if I can find one. Of course, you can definitely go smaller as well if you want. But here we are. Here's some, our 5.5 by 3.5 would fit nicely here. You can fit 2 of those in, or you can also put them on the other side as well. I need to organize these at some point. That's probably just a little bit too much there. You definitely wouldn't want that there, but you can do the 4x4s here as well. And of course, I don't know where I just put that other 4x4. Let's see if I can find another one. Here we go. All right. So there you go, 4x4s. You can do the 4x6. You can easily fit another 4x4, or just do 2 4x4s on that side as well, and do a 5.5 by 3.5 here, along with the 2 4x4s. Okay. Which is very different from what the sketch had, but I do like to show you all a different take as well. So they have 5 inch by 3.25, which, you know, that would fit this one down here as well. But you know, mix it up, work with what your photos are speaking to you about, and it'll be good. Absolutely. Let's move into sketch number 2. Pick these up real quick. Hopefully I won't mix them up too much, so it'll be easier when I go to show you the next layout. Okay. All right, like I said, trying something a little bit different here. Let me know. Let me do this real quick, and we'll try this. Let me know if y'all have any questions with this in between. I am going to see if I can switch up my actual studio real quick. I don't know if I can do it while I'm live here, but while I'm getting the next layout out, I am happy to answer questions. Oh yes, okay. This one I did a few days ago, and I have a bunch of notes on this one. Move out this right side, because there's a whole lot going on this one. So we started out simple. We're going to get a little more complex here next. Now, let me see if I can adjust this real quick. Like I said, I tested it, but I didn't actually, I felt like nope, I'll have to do this later. And I have another thing here I need to fix. Okay. Well, so I'm not going to be able to see the comments unless I go to, let me check this real quick, my actual channel, which is going to be interesting. I don't know if we're going to get feedback or not. Let's try this. Okay. Well, so I'm not going to be able to, nope. And apparently there's a small lag, so it's a good thing I took an extra minute to chat, and I am going to go ahead and switch things back over and get myself off camera, put the sketch back on the camera, and I will definitely have to practice before next month. I've been using the same software for a while for my live streams, and this is my first one with the new software. I hope you all are seeing everything without as much lag or the webcam focusing as much. And, you know, always trying to make improvements and changes. Okay. One of the things with doing this, let's go ahead and move these, move that. All right, we've, like I said, a little bit more happening on this one. And we've got mats, we've got papers, got a little bit of everything going on here. Okay. Embellishments. But first things first, you all want to know what the base page is going to be, right? It's the one with the lemons and cherries on the back. It has kind of the sea green. I'm guessing it's supposed to be like maybe a tiled pool floor or something. This is Poolside Paradise. And I think I showed you this. Hopefully, there we go. Not sure why I was getting a bit of a glare. And yep, the focus thing. It's on autofocus. The one time I didn't run it on autofocus, it was out of focus and people weren't happy. So we kind of have to deal with it focusing a little bit, but we are going to be using border stickers. And I also brought in my River Waves border punch for this one. And I punched out 2 of these from the paper that has the bluer bubbles in it. This one, it has that darker blue pattern on the back of it. We're actually going to start with this because we essentially are going to layer over this with our other border. So we're using all of our border stickers in our sticker pack on this one. You know, heaven forbid we have leftover stickers for anything, right? And let me make sure I have some notes for myself. Give me a moment to read these. Okay. Alright, I want them so you can have it just below the edge of the paper here, because we have about, it looks like it's maybe an eighth of an inch. I don't think it's quite a quarter of this white border around. So that's what we're going slightly under. I'm going to place this one with the, I don't know, water sprinkles over it, and I'm actually going it so where my sprinkles, I guess, are defying gravity. They're going to go up, not down into the page. We're going up this time, and this is going over my river waves in the center, which is kind of fun because our river waves, remember I punched it from that paper with the bubbles in it, so you can kind of see some other bubbles above and below. You know, what can I say? Now, we are also going to place this plank one. I'm calling it a plank. I don't know. Y'all can let me know what it's actually called if it has a different name. And this one is going about 1/4 of an inch in, so we're going to see that white edge as well as a little bit of our tile here. And running up our page over our other borders. So yeah, this corner is going to be a little bit thick. Now, we also have this other water movement border. I don't know. It's pretty. It's going to work. We're following it through the edge of our plank here. So it's kind of like we have some water splashing up on a pool decking maybe, depending on where you're at. And that's going to be that. So let me show you real quick. You can see I have those two layered and how I have the other two borders layered, and everything is from the edge of the page. Next, we have this mat. So this is a 4.5 by 6.5 mat. You see what we're doing here? I picked it with a purpose, go figure. And we are also going to be placing some 4x4 mats, and I also have a 4x6 mat as well. I'm going to put tape runner on all of these. These are the more aqua-y. It's the same color basically as the mat, so you know I try to flow with the colors. So this one has basically the pool supplies on the back of it, and this one says pool days. The mat says pool days on the back of it, the large mat. So 2 4x4, 1 4x6. The mat is 4.5 by 6.5. And if you screenshot when I showed the sketch, you will have it all written up on there. I also have the bubble embellishment as well. Go figure. We're just full of bubbles today. What can I say? Hopefully I'm not full of hot air. Let's see. And this is going to run through, but we're going to place this one first. I think just lightly coming in from our edge. And then we're going to place our mat up here at the top. So it's going to go over our water just a little bit. Actually, I think that's going to be okay. I probably could have put the water over the mat, but we're going to have some other things going over this edge because again, 4.5 by 6.5 is larger than most of our typical photos. So it's okay if you're over the edges of your mat just a little bit. You see here is our 4x6 and our 4x4 right next to each other here. And again, this is one that I took from a single page layout to a double page. Now on your embellishment, we have 2 larger bubbles. You can either place these down or up. I'm placing them up and then I'm running them diagonal through our page here, because when I looked at how the embellishments were suggested for through our page. They are running kind of from corner to corner here a bit. That's one I placed first. This is why I didn't stick them down. And actually I kind of want this one more in the middle. Since the 4x4 is a little bit smaller, I'm bringing it in just a hair. So again, you see this, that little edge, about 1/8 of an inch again of our tile, and you can see it in the bottom as well. Placing that over this diagonal embellishment. And I'll bring this in again. So you can see they had a larger photo and two smaller, kind of running more diagonal, and I'm going a little bit more linear, but we're going to honor the diagonal with the embellishment. And we have our Poolside Paradise sticker we're going to run through here. I just want to place it a moment because we also have a double planter, and you can see I pulled the little bubbles when I cut out my stickers. So we're going to add those on our page as well. Where am I putting this lantern now? I did this one a couple of days ago. This I know is going up the top. Oh, I think it is going to go up at the top of this. So again, you can see we are going to cover this a little bit. I'm going to run some foam tape over our back of our embellishment here. Both of these say Poolside Paradise. One is an embellishment, one is from the sticker pack. This one is the embellishment, the oval one. Again, the colors just worked really, really well. And I'm just going to place this one through the center. And this is a 3M foam tape. It's a little bit thinner of a foam tape than what Creative Memories foam tape was in the past, although Creative Memories did just release a thinner foam tape. Go figure, maybe I was just ahead of the trend a little bit. But I got this one on Amazon. It is photo safe, so I'm not worried about using it on my page, and I will have it linked in the description box once the live stream is over. Okay, our lantern is going up here, hanging kind of a little bit behind up here. Oh, it looks like there's a pop out too. So anytime you see the little pop outs, make sure to grab those either with your scissors or with your multi-purpose tool. Try to grab it here. Okay, and I've got a little bit of foam tape on my scissor. Hang on, I've got too much going on here. Let me place this down first a little bit behind. Yep, it's going behind just a hair at the top of our page. And clean up my scissors, get my little pop out off my fingers. Nope, that didn't work. Okay, try. Nope, still here, but that's okay. We'll just keep going. We have some planters that we're going to place in the bottom of our page here. And again, this is just bringing in some familiar colors to run through our pages, some familiar sayings here with the Poolside Paradise. I actually think I'm going to pop this one up as well with the foam tape, and that way they'll be similar height through the page. That one might be a little long, so let me just take a little bit of extra off. I'll use that later. I'll just stick it on the side of my foam tape for now. Pull the back off of this one. Don't know why, it just works better left-handed for me sometimes. I'm right-handed, but I think I'm a little bit more ambidextrous at times. So that was when I hurt my left thumb. It was not easy, that's for sure. Okay, so here comes in our Poolside Paradise. We are going to run this way. Still straight through, but through kind of our bubbles a little bit. And then we're going to add some more bubbles. We have a couple here that we can put up here. I think that'll make it look like our other one is running through our page a little bit more, coming from there. And I think I'm going to add a couple more down on the bottom here. Where's this? Here we go. So coming down, and there's more of these on the sticker sheet, so if you feel like you want more bubbles, there are a lot of them. I don't know how I feel about that going over my planter. I may need to move the planter up just a hair if I can. Sometimes you can get the stickers up if you put them down. Yep, right after you put them down. So let me shift this just a little bit, put this down here, overlapping, and we're going to lift this one just up a hair. Okay, feel pretty good about that. All right, are we ready to get the right side taken care of? And then I'll bring back the sketch and show you all where I'm going with the rest of this here. Alright, you can kind of see where we're going. We have a lot of similar components, but we're adding in a little bit more mats again. Got a chunk for the middle of our page and another one of our embellishments that is going to run through diagonally as well. Let's go ahead and grab our river waves with our repositionable tape and go ahead and run this through the top of our page again, just a little bit below the white edging on the paper here. Alright, I need the multi-purpose tool again. This one kind of wrinkled up a little bit here. There we go. Just straightening it out a bit. We have the same bubbles that are going to be defying gravity, or the splashing water, I guess, going up instead of down on our page, running through the bubbles. So we're using the same base. I used the same medium blue bubble paper for this side as I did on the other side. And I'm now adding in our teak piece again, or our plank piece. I don't know if it's actually teak, but it reminds me of teak a little bit. Leaving a little bit of like 1/8 of an inch of the tile showing running down our page. Adding our flowing water border sticker over it slightly again here. And yes, this collection is the one I added. We didn't really get too many votes for the vintage chic, so I went ahead and switched it up and brought in Poolside Paradise. And like I said, I keep telling y'all, if you comment and you have a collection you want to see, you might see that if we don't get a lot of votes on one of the other collections. This month was up to me since I didn't have any comments, but we had quite a few votes, which was awesome. Now we have the same paper I cut more mats from that we had on the other side, the one with the pool tools on the back. So I have a 4x6 of that and another 4x4. And then I also have 2 of our mats from our mat pack again. So this one is a 4.5x6.5. It's the one that says Fun in the Sun on the back. And then this is one I cut in half because it has that same wood. Even though we're going to run it not the same direction as our border sticker, the colors work. It doesn't bother me to have the stripes running not all in the same direction on this layout. Later layout, yeah, we're going to make sure all our stripes are running in the same direction, but on this one, I think because the base page has so many directional tiles or whatever this is, it works. So, okay. Our 4x4 is going down here, leaving just a little bit of that green tile showing again. Our 4.5x6.5 is coming in over here. So again, we're going to kind of leave a sight line about 1/4 of an inch above and below. So it's essentially going to have just a touch of the tile showing at the bottom. Our 4x6 is going up here. And again, I am not pressing down again because we still have to add our border sticker. I do need to get tape on that. Oops, I went a little over with my tape on this one. So this winds up, since I cut this one in half, it winds up at 4.5 by 3.25. And we're essentially going to use this one as a journal box. On our other page, I forgot to mention, you can definitely add write-on stickers to it. Or there was space for journaling. I can bring it back in just a moment. Because of course with scrapbooking we do need to get our stories on our pages as well. So our larger bubbles going up through our page here, kind of weaving under and through both of our mats here. This one's actually going to move up a hair. And here we go. Okay, so now we have because we're going to be putting a little bit more in the middle over on this one. But there was a skinny lantern. There actually were 3 lanterns in the mat pack. So I pulled all 3 of them. There we go, that's on my silicone mat, not on me. This one is coming in up here at the top. Again, just adding these nice accents that kind of flow through our page, just work out nicely. Here's our single plant. Just going to come in over here towards the edge a bit. I'm going to put this over here for right now. We may wind up moving that one slightly, so don't hold me to this one yet. We have our other lantern. Our dive-in is going over here. I'm going to put this remnant of the extra foam tape. Then that way my height through both of my pages is going to be the same because our foam squares are higher. We do have a skinnier foam square now with Creative Memories. Mine have not arrived yet. So I'm going to use the foam tape that I've got. It's the skinnier one also, so it's going to work out for me, matching the other side of my page. Since we did pop up a couple of things there, but this is, again, not as tall as what our foam squares are. Okay, so our dive-in is heading towards this one here, this mat. We're going to go just over the corner again, because again, it's 4.5 by 6.5, so it's large enough that our typical 4 by 6 photo, the dive-in is not going to overlap that. We've got one more of these little tops to pop out here. Well, and it just is stuck to the back side now somehow. There we go. Alright, so now it's on my multi-purpose tool. I'll deal with that in a bit. And this one is going over here. We have a couple more bubbles. We actually have a lot of bubbles. We don't have to use them all, but it is kind of fun to add some of these to our page as well. Just sort of running around. Actually put one on there. Let me go put back and put a couple on our other sticker. I like this dark blue, sort of popping a little bit in our border. And then I think I am going to move this over just a hair. Put our plant over here, just hanging out on the pool deck or tile or whatever we decided that the base paper pattern is, now that they're not telling us what the names of them are anymore. paper and we're gonna figure out where to put the rest of these bubbles real quick. Put my multi-purpose tool away, put my scissors away. And clean up my desk a little bit here. Let's add at least one of these darker ones over here as an accent as well. We're gonna run a couple more through the top. Well, actually this one's a double. So we'll run maybe a couple of these over here. Oops, if I can get it off of the backing here. There's that one. And where the edge is on this other one. Oh, there's no edge on it. That's interesting. I wanted to put the sticker that wasn't cut out. That's, I think, a first for me. Let's put this up here. And then I'm going to cut this one out because that's really, like I said, it's a first. First I've never had one not come pre-cut. Well, I don't know if this is a good idea because pre-cutting a circle might not be my forte on live video here, but okay. Not exactly perfect, but it's going on. It's kind of what I keep saying, that's how you know it's homemade, right? Let's see if this one's, yep, that one's cut. Huh. Okay, well, there you go, you never know. Let's do this one maybe going this way. Oh, let's do it with the larger one coming down. Nope, we're gonna defy gravity again, we're going up. Okay. There we go. All right, push those down. I can tell I hadn't pushed those down yet. Wanted to make sure I got all of my pieces in place. When it comes together, it comes together, doesn't it? So here is the left side of our page up close. And here is the right side. All right, here's the sketch, and I'm gonna talk just a minute. So I definitely pulled through this almost three-way frame on this layout is what I created. A little different from the broken frame I did earlier this summer. You can see where they're running the embellishments through the page, going, you know, from the bottom left to the top right. So that's kind of what I did. I flowed it the same direction through both pages. I added our pops of our lanterns so that way our colors would flow nicely. And you can see bringing back in our brown or teak, I guess, components is now that I'm calling it our plank. I think it came together nicely. It flows nicely. And let me show you some photo placement. All right, so this one, 5.5 by 3.5 are going here and here. We have some 4x4, no, because those are 4x4 mats. We need the 3.5 this time, but I would actually go 3 3/4. I just don't have a 3 3/4 mat to show you. Of course, you can always run a 4x3 as well. You're gonna journal here. If you don't have, well, you should have some journaling. And then we can put our full 4x6 photos here and, or 6x4, I guess I should say, and under here. So if you want to show that little, the little teaked component is what I'm calling it, you can also do the smaller 5.5 by 3.5 up here as well. All right, what do you all think about this one? I guess I need to straighten it out a little bit, but okay, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pick this up and pop myself back on camera while I'm switching things out, and we'll see how it works. Again, I don't know if I should dare try to check for comments or not, but leave a comment if you have any questions. I'll try to check, why not? Let's see if I reduce my volume on my other part to check it. Put this one up and let me get myself back on. Okay, there's a lot of moving parts here, making sure I hit all the right buttons, and oops, let me bring in the third layout for all of you. Oops. Okay, this one is one you voted for pretty heavily, so I think you're going to be happy. Actually, this is the last one I designed this morning. Oh, I need to grab out my 13 by 13 mat for this one because we are going to be doing a little bit of mitering on this one. So let me get myself sorted out here. Try to bring this in, and it's not always easy to get this all switched over quickly while live for you. Let me try this way. Okay. Whew. At least I got one half of the thing. I feel like it's still reasonably in decent shape. And it's a little bit messy, but otherwise I think I can make it work. We'll find out if I'm straight on the camera or not. Okay, I'm gonna try this and see if it works better this way. Let me try putting volumes down first and see if I can check for comments real quick on my phone instead of on my computer. Okay, so no, nothing yet. Let's see here. Nope. Okay, at least that was better. It didn't come in quite as loud, but y'all want to see, I'm sure, what our next layout is going to be. And I'm hoping that by having both mics open, that doesn't create some kind of reverb or something. I guess I'm gonna have to double check that too, but let me know if you're getting some kind of echoes or anything when I switch over like that, if I'm still talking, which I guess I usually am, but here we go. All right, Tropical Garden is up next, and this one was definitely one where we're going to be using a lot of embellishments. There was just a lot on the sketch that was pulling things in, pulling in pieces, pulling in parts. So I've got a few stickers, not many. I have more embellishments than stickers this time, but I also did pull in, which I haven't had a chance to do a short for this one yet, but the brand new Decorative Waves Border Maker cartridge. And I don't know if y'all have noticed, but look, we have it on the side of the box as well. And here, I'm gonna flip this over and just show you. It actually does run true to size when you punch. So if you're one of those people that likes to know what it's gonna look like before you punch it, it's on the box. True to size, ready to go for you. And it is an edge one. I will do the short. It'll be coming at some point when I get a chance to catch up a little bit. But I have brought in my border mat. Hang on, I need to straighten out my little, I use a drawer liner to keep my mat from sliding. So it just helps give me a little bit of extra stability. We are going to use two of our tonal papers, and there was one that was a really dark green, and then there's one that's more in the avocado palette. And we're going to be bringing these two together to create a single base page. The darker paper is 5 inches, and it's got the green speckles on the back of it. The lighter avocado one has more of a tan breadbasket pattern on it. I don't know. I really miss having the names. If you can't tell. Alright, so I'm going to lay these both side by side on my mat here because we're essentially going to put these together to make a 12-inch base paper for ourselves. Whoops. And this is like the hardest part of the entire layout because for me to get this so precise is not easy. Requires a lot of focus. There we go. Okay. And then I cut a I think it was actually 1 1/4. I think I wrote 1 inch on my thing, but I'm pretty sure I actually cut this at 1 1/4. But this is one of my sheets that when you buy the pocket pages, there's an insert sheet in those that is a little bit of a thicker, sturdier cardstock, if you will. And that's what I'm going to use to put these two pages together because I want to make sure it's sturdy. And our index sheets have gotten thinner over the years. If you have an older index sheet, you can use that. That's definitely sturdier than what the current ones are. I actually miss having that extra little bit of free cardstock that we used to get with our older paper packs. But you can still use your insert paper, and it looks like mine is over just a hair, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that. I guess they have a little bit of an allowance in these, just like they do for some of our other papers. So let me go ahead and just take my scissors, trim this off here, so that way we don't have a weird little white splotch popping out from our layout here. But there we go. Now we essentially have a 12 by 12 sheet of paper to place all of our stuff on, our layout, our photo mats, our little strips, because this one, not gonna lie, was daunting. It's busy. I actually followed a lot of the measurements, believe it or not. I know it's horrors almost for me. I usually like to show you all something different, but this one I just, yeah, it is what it is. So I did cut I used the bamboo paper with my decorative wave border maker, and this one has the coral with kind of like the little floral bursts on the back of it. I cut this at a 1/2 inch. I'm bringing in the aqua with the green. So the base papers are from the tonal pack. These are all from the designer pack, except for, oh, this is from the designer too. I think it's so hard because it's such a small strip. I don't think I still have the base page out. But this is the one I used last month. It had the aqua with the green in it. That's a 1/4 inch. It has the blue, the same floral that's on the back side of the bamboo, but with the aqua and the little orange dots. And then this one has, I think it was from the tonal pack, but it's got the similar pattern. Actually, no, this is from the designer pack because it's got a similar pattern to the aqua. It's got the coral and the oranges and the magenta on the back side of it, but on the front side, it's the same almost solid magenta as what's on this photo mat. This is one of our 6.5 by 4.5 mats, and it brought in the same color, and it brought in the same color as our title for our page. So that's what got 1/8 inch taken off of it. And I can see where we're probably going to have Tropical Garden on the virtual crop again next month, because I took 1/8 inch off of one piece of paper for this layout, and that bugs me. So this layout wound up creating a lot of scraps that I just really want to give you all ideas of how to use up some of the scraps and pieces that you have left, because I love how this one turned out. I didn't love all the scraps it created, so I really want to give you an idea for that. So chances are Tropical Garden will be on next month's poll. And if it's not on next month's poll and I forget, someone put in a comment, write it in, and let me know, hey, Catherine, you said Tropical Garden needs to be on this month's poll, and I will bring it in somewhere. because yeah, you're right, we need to use up some of these scraps. And there we go. Okay, getting a little crazy with my tape runner here. That'll probably pop up. So, first things first, we are going to place these down, and these are going to cover up our seam here that we created by mitering these two pages together. And we're going to do that with our bamboo paper because, of course, that's our widest one that we have. We're going to run this up our page, and my 1/8 of an inch is sticking to my sleeve. How fun is that? Okay. You know, you never know what's going to happen. I'm sure. Has anybody else had that happen to them? Hopefully I'm not the only one that has these funny little things happen. Just because you're not on camera doesn't mean you can't admit it. Alright, so our 1/4 of an inch goes next to our 1/2 inch, and then our 1/8 of an inch goes next to our 1/4 of an inch. And like I said, this is just a way to bring in colors and patterns that we have throughout both of our pages. Yeah, there we go. Okay, bringing in our photo mat. This one is going up here, and about a 1/2 inch from the top of the page. I need to bring in my, okay, hang on, I need to actually see how much space this is going to take up, because this one is kind of a larger embellishment, but the way the photo mats are shown on the sketch, I think we can get away with just having it sort of overlap just a bit here. And this one is coming up over here. So these are both 4x4 from the, let me just do this, from our hibiscus paper. It has the yellow sun rays on the back of it. And I'm going to want to bring in some tape runner on this one so I can tuck it under. And then we're going to add some things to our sign. We're going to add some things. We're adding a bunch. Like I said, this is the embellishment buster layout. I know I use a lot of stickers, but this one is embellishment heavy this time. I love using the stickers. I like using the embellishments too, but sometimes some of the embellishments are a little bit too large for my taste, and so it's hard to figure out how to use them on the page. I struggle sometimes. I don't know if any of you struggle with some of that as well, but that's just one of my things. We have a flower here that I did not write down where I was putting it, but I'll figure it out. And we have our leaves that has the Monstera leaf in it. We could have brought in our Monstera border punch as well for this layout. We have a little getaway embellishment that we're going to actually place on our sign because it fits and it adds another little pop of color, which is great. Here's our Monstera leaf coming in this way, kind of above our sign. Let me get my multi-purpose tool, lift this up just a hair because we want it coming out from behind it just a bit. And then, yep, I can see where we do want our flower kind of coming over as well. Maybe kind of covering up that blue leaf. There we go. All right. Let's hope I put that in the right place. They were all kind of together. These were together, and these are together. So we have 3 little clusters on this side of the page for our decorative parts because it just needed it. This one's coming in here. Again, this is going to go under just a little bit. And it's going to go under this other mat just a little bit, but it's over our 3 strips we placed in. And then I have a yellow, I don't know if that's a hibiscus or not. It doesn't have like the true hibiscus center on it, but this one is just going to come here. Just adding a little extra pop of color, adding our florals through, you know, because these are going to get covered by photos, so we're not going to see as much of the hibiscus paper later. Foam squares, where did I put you? Oops, sorry about that. I'm guessing that was loud on the camera, or on the mic, maybe. Knocking my embellishment tray into my wall that's in front of my desk here. Alright, added one large foam square up here for the My Soul is Happy. And then we're gonna add our hibiscus one this time, and then the other monstera leaf embellishment as well. So I'm using repositionable tape on these. And this is going to come in this way with the orange coming up and the pinks together a bit. And then our leaf is just going to come out from the side over here, angling up as well. Now, this one I was thinking would be a great place for also some of our write-on stickers. And I think maybe because I did it this morning, although I don't know if white is going to be the right color for this one. They do come in other colors, in black and I believe natural. So the natural would blend a little bit nicer with our bamboo paper, but I wanted to at least remind you all about the write-on stickers and how they can be used for adding journaling to a page. So you can go through here and also under here. If you want to add journal a little bit around your little getaway as well, maybe add an extra, like we're in Puerto Rico and this is where our photos are from. Add that. So here's one, our left side of our page. And yes, I will show you with photos in a little bit. I don't need my mat for the right side, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that down. This over here. There's only so much space on the desk. And bring in this one. I think it's moving along a little bit quicker today. We had already on layout number 3. Maybe I did simpler layouts this time. I don't know if I would consider this one simple, but it just seemed to work. It seemed to come together. And like I said, I followed the sketch a little bit more on this one, but I also be mindful, okay, we're gonna stick our top and bottom first. So I get my brain sorted out here. Okay, I cut 2 1-inch strips from the same dark palm leaf paper that we used on the other side, the one with the bluer dots on the back of it. And then we're gonna use a completed sheet of that lighter green on this side. I'm not gonna pick it up because I wanna keep my mats in the same place. This hibiscus paper has what I feel was a directionality to it. It has these waves that are running through the paper. So when you place it on your trimmer, if you turn it so your waves are running, what is this, vertical? If they're running up and down, cut your paper at, what did I cut these at? 4.5, and then you turn it and you cut it at the 3.5. Then you'll have these little waves flowing through your paper rather than up and down, which I just thought that worked a little bit better for me. And then also I'm being mindful of how I'm placing them on the paper. I know they're going to get covered by photos, but this is how my paper actually was. So if you're mindful with that and deliberate and place it so it's going to actually look like it's from the same sheet, which it is, then that also looks nice on your page as well. Let me get some tape runner going again. And, oops. Getting closer to the end on that one. Oops, let me. Okay, so we're going to place our 1-inch strips along the top and the bottom of our green base here, and you're just gonna have to trust me, it's the same paper. Maybe I can show you a corner. Yeah, no, it has that, like, I don't know why it looks like wheat to me. It could be because it's tan, and it just kind of has that floral look to it, but that's the one I showed you the back side of on the other side of the page. And then here is our 6 mats. We are going to just double check and make sure I've got these going the correct direction first, that they line up. Where did I turn something? I think I did. Oops. It's kind of like redoing a puzzle, isn't it? Sometimes. After I talked about making sure to be mindful, I feel like I flipped something and I turned something that I shouldn't have turned, and now of course I can't pick it up again. Okay, that's that. So that's definitely there. And this is not that, not that. What did I do here? I'm not sure what I did. Well, that's definitely that way. I'm not sure what I did with this one. Maybe it was pink and I don't know. Or maybe because I had to bring it down. Let me make sure these go here. That definitely goes together. This, maybe I switched 2 sheets. Nope, that definitely goes there. Is this on the other side of this one? Yep, that's what I did. I scooted everything over one. Ah, and there, that's there. Okay, I feel better. It's kind of like doing a puzzle without having pieces that actually, I mean, they go together, but they don't, you know, go together. So, all right, let's give us 1/4 inch, maybe it's closer to 1/2 from the top and in between here. So it is you are breaking it up a little bit going through your page. Actually, I need to bring that back over just a hair. And bring this in just a little bit. Uh-oh, we're starting to stick. And then this one should come up with about the same, similar margins. And yes, you can bring in your 0 centering ruler, you can bring in the mat with the ruler, but I am just doing it. We're just going to get these placed and done. Okay, there we go. Oh, it actually looks pretty straight. It looks like it flows nicely. Looks like it belongs together. And now we have 2 of our border stickers from this sticker pack. This is a border sticker heavy month somehow. We have the bamboo piece, which is, hey, Catherine put bamboo on the other side of the page. I wonder why. Now it makes sense. And then we've got this fun floral that's also sticking to my sleeve as well. But because we have these 2 little strips, you can see she had an 1/8 inch and a 1/4 inch again. And hang on, I have to remember if I wanted these to go above or below. I think I wanted it to go above. All right, let's turn over that. So there definitely, our bamboo is about an 1/8 inch. So we're gonna run this close to the edge of our green, darker green, because they're both green, right? Edge here. And then we're gonna run our flowers right above our bamboo. Again, bringing in our colors, bringing in our patterns. Now you see why I stuck a random yellow sticker on the other side, the random floral. It's all coming together. And we are also going to run our other bamboo over here. On the bottom, close to the edge again of the darker green paper, the 1-inch strip. Here we go. Just running it across here, and then we're gonna add our other floral, tropical flowers border sticker underneath this one this time. So it's just kind of overlapping the edges just a hair of our bamboo. A couple of our longer petals are touching both on the top and the bottom. But that's it. And then we also have, an Aqua Stunning View sticker, and then we have 3 more embellishments. These 2 match what we used on the other side of the page. This little purse has very similar, again, that little yellow flower and matching leaves that we used on the other side of the page as well. Let's go ahead and get some tape runner on these. I may pop up our purse. I don't know why. It's just telling me to pop it up. So I'm gonna pop it up. Got another big foam square here. We're gonna, try not to go that far off the edge. And 1 big foam square. There you go. So this is coming in on the bottom here, and it's just in between these 2 mats down here. And the nice thing about the embellishments is that you don't have to worry about the stick, but if you have stick, grab your powder and it will all work out for you. And our leaf is going on that side, our flowers coming in from this side, just below our mat as well, because again, these are smaller mats, so it's not like our 4.5 by 6.5 we had on the other side that we could play around with. Actually, I need to put this under the mat. Grab my multi-purpose tool, lift this up a little bit because it's just going to pop in underneath. And this is also going to go under because our photos need to go over these embellishments. And finally, we're going to bring in this little Stunning View sticker. Again, it just brings in our colors, finishes off this layout. I'm dropping things here. I looked at it as part of our sign, and it just didn't work for me, but it works over here, so I want to show you real quick what I looked at. Time to clean things up a little bit again, and bring in the left side of our page. So here we go. I just love this one. It just speaks to me. Okay, so you can see here, if we put Stunning Views over here, it's kind of distracting, but if we put it down over here, I'm actually going to put it slightly underneath our blue flower here. We're kind of covering up a little bit of the bottom edge of our floral border here. It just works. If it'll work with me anyways. Here we go. Okay. So I will show you a close-up of this real quick, and you can see how that works in the bottom of our page. And here is our left side of the page again. I feel like I showed it, but maybe not, just in case. All right, and the 2 pages together, what do y'all think of this one? Here is, like I said, very close to the sketch on this one. You can see we've got all of those. And if you don't want a photo here, cut a piece of that the sheet we cut to use our mitering, the sheet that was in the pocket page. You can put a piece of this down here to create a journal mat. And I think that'll be nice. Like I said, if you have, or you can also use maybe the bamboo paper and just write on that as well. That would actually tie in an element from the page as well. But that's something for later. And then here is our left side. You can see where there's this extra little here. And so I opted to do this little getaway, adding in some more of our leaves and florals. I just kind of worked out. I feel like I actually went a little bit simpler. I feel like there's a lot on the page, but I actually went a little simpler than the sketch on this one, if you can believe it. Let me grab out the photo mats. And definitely smaller photos on this one. These are 3x4s. So here, and we will have a 4x6, and, or, yeah, 4x6 here. And then the 3.5 here. Actually 3 3/4, but you can also go 3.5 if you want. That's what my little cards are, so that's what I need to show. And let me find a few more of those 3x4s. Here's a couple. I don't know if I have enough to do all 6 of these, but I will get it placed, and then that way at least you all can see what it could look like with photos on it. Another one of those. And I'll keep digging a minute here. Apparently I have. Okay. Alright, there you go. That's what it could look like with photos on it now. Because, you know, I'm not always tied to the mats, I'm going to show you an alternative that you can do on the right side of the page. And it's just me looking at this page here a minute. I almost did do one large strip of this paper and kept it together and run it through just to give myself more options, but we can also do something like this with our 4x6s, or you can run through probably with 4 horizontal photos. It just depends on how, or we can even do a mix here as well. Bring that down. So you have some options. You might even be able to fit in another smaller one here. Like I said, that's a good journal box, so you probably want to keep that as that way. But maybe do a smaller one up here, and then your journal box and a couple of larger ones, if you wish to do it that way too. So maybe something like that. Okay. That's enough options for now, for today. With this one, we still have one more layout to get done, and I don't want to keep you too long today. And I appreciate those of you that are joining me today. And that's it. Okay, that's it for that one. Put the photo cards away. I need to pick things up. I will put my smiley face back on for you all to see me here, switching things out and trying to get this done here. I will check again for questions. If anybody has any, it should be easy enough to figure out what's coming next based on the poll. But, wow, I've got a lot going on here. Okay, let me put these up here. This one I think was the first one I designed, and it was a while ago, so I have some extra pieces here I need to just set into my embellishment tray, so give me just a moment, because I can see I had some issues trying to figure out exactly where to go with some of our embellishments. I needed to see this one put together a little bit more. So this is going to be, oh yes, this is one. Okay, oh boy, yeah, this one's going to be a fun one. Let me get this out here. This is the first side of our page, because this was using up a lot of scraps from last month as well. Let me check for questions and refresh my memory on what I'm doing with this here. What did I do? This doesn't look anything like my sketch. Okay. Maybe this fell when I moved it. Yes, okay. Whew. All right, sorry, just taking a moment here to make sure. Like I said, it's been a little bit since I designed this, and so I always put it over on my side table how I'm gonna be using it, but sometimes it's easier than other times to try to remember where my brain was going with some of this. And then we also had those scraps again, like I said. Okay, let me check on my phone again just real quick, make sure nobody has any questions, and then we'll get right into it. I'm gonna probably grab a quick drink of water as well. Yep, nope, we're good. Okay, I'm glad it's making sense to everybody. I'm ready to finish this up. Let's get it done. Okay. So, here we go. This sketch we're going to do upside down. So, because I don't know. It's just what worked for me on the day I went to design it. I looked at it and I saw that's what I did. I saw these banners and I looked at the collection, and then I saw the trees and I thought, what if we turn those banners into trees? That means we're probably going to have to turn the sketch. So our banners are becoming trees, and we're going to use another border sticker, go figure. It shouldn't be a surprise at this point. I don't know, it's some months, I think it's just because they have the same person design all 4 sketches, and a lot of times people have a very unique artistic style when they're designing layouts, and so I feel like these 4, they flowed, but every month is a little bit different. What can I say? I keep sliding in my chair, which is not good. I don't know. Okay, so let's hold this up just in case you do want the screenshot, even though it's going to show upside down, but at least you can get a feel for my placement of where we're going with our Copper Canyon 2 collection, because of course we had these strips left from last month where I believe I used the Rhythm Blade, and I should have looked it up, but I didn't, so watch the video if you want to know exactly which blade that's from. We're using these dark brown bases. It has a darker green on the back, most likely from our tonal pack. And also we are using a lot of pieces from this paper that has just a lighter, it's almost like a purpley gray on the back of it, but it has just that stone look to it. And also I cut a couple of circles, and our mint is, I used my circle cutter. The mint is 4.2 and the base is 4.6, and I need to cut this in half, and I was going to show you all how to do that. So it's a good thing I read my notes and made sure. So the mint is, I'm not sure, the base is that darker stone look, so it's this paper basically, but in the darker tones that we used last month as well. The mint, I don't know what it has on the back of it because it's been too long. It just looks like it's similar to the back of this one, but a darker, slightly darker gray color. Okay, so how to cut a circle in half quickly using our 12-inch trimmer. Grab out your 12-inch trimmer, and you see here, let me hold this up because you're going to want to know where to place this. And we have these 2 ridges here, and it has, like, there's a bump out where it holds the bar for cutting, but here is our placement below where our matte strip goes, and then there's just two little bump ups from there in the actual plasticky part of the trimmer, if you will. So you're going to go ahead and grab your circle, place it up directly into those bump outs. So when your circle can't go any further, you're over the cutting mat and you're pushing your circle up, because of course the circle is round and you can't go up any further, but you want to make sure you're up against these two little bump outs. Go ahead and shut your trimmer, cut, and there you go. You have a really precise circle cut in half. And that's what we're going to be using on this layout. Instead of cutting partial circles, we're going to use a half on each side of our page. So I'm going to set one half of my circle aside, bring in my other one here. I'm going to go ahead and adhere my border sticker to the top. And hey, look, it's a banner. So we are bringing back in a little bit of banner, but just not in the way you might think that we were going to be making banners for this layout. Let's run this along the top of the page, and you know what, I'm actually going to flip this over because it looks like our diagonal runs a certain way, and I'm guessing that that spoke to me, so I'm going to leave it the same direction it's going, but I'm running this right at the very top of our page, going across. I just wanted to make sure I could see it easier, so I flipped my page, but it looks like we're flowing the same way as the pool layout with the diagonal directionality of the paper. I have a, oh, nope, I thought I stuck that down already, but I didn't. So this spoke to me too. I'm gonna go ahead and stick this down. Grab my mat here real quick. So we have a 4.5 by 6.5 mat here, and this little sunshine spoke to me with this, so it's almost like a double banner here coming in. I don't remember if I had it hanging from the peg or just, I think we're just going over it. So you can easily add a title in here. You can put wherever your thing was placed, or you can just use this as a decorative element on your page. But like I said, we have trees, and we're gonna have, I think, another banner, yes, on the other side. So it just, I don't know, it worked. The back of this one has the "My heart is full" and the heart with the tag on it. Let's get this one stuck down. Yes, I'm gonna need this again. I'm just gonna switch things up a little bit here. We're jumping around a little bit, I know. Bear with me. It's all gonna come together, but we need to start in this bottom corner, and we're gonna give it an 1/8 of an inch margin. It would help if I was facing the direction we need to face, but this needs to be tight to the corner, close at 1/8 of an inch. Okay, there we go. And then our rhythm blade piece, we use the side with the darker stone tones on the layout last month. We're going to use the back side this month. So flip it over. We want the lighter brown color this time. So that worked out. This is basically the same paper as what I used for the base of the circle. So that's where, we had a scrap from doing our punching, and this is just bringing it back in. Okay, we're running this along the top of here. And we are going to start placing strips, and let's hope yes. Okay, so we have 2" by 6" piece. So some of these were just already pieces from last month. So I think I had a longer 2" strip, and I just cut it down. So I have 6 inches here by 2 inches. I have another 2" by 6" strip here, and then I have a 2" by 4¼ inch, and you'll see the other 2" by 7¾ on the other side of the page, because again, we're using up some scraps here. And this is a 1" by 10" that I also had left over from last month. So all of these elements are going to get used. I'm happy to be able to use these, and again, it's kind of like my sort of floating shelves, my floating photo mats here. It's coming back. It's gonna come into style. So somebody else is gonna start doing floating photo mats, because I've done quite a few of those the last couple months, and I love it because it highlights your photo. Your photos just completely pop, but it just works. I don't know, for me anyways. And we do need to center this. Okay, let me grab my ruler again. We're gonna center this one, and try not to stick to everything on the page. Scoot the trees over, and it's 1 inch by what? By 10, so I should be at 5s. Yep. So 1 inch up and down from the bottom and top of the page here. Grab this over just a hair. There we go. And then this piece comes in right here next to our 1 inch, just flush against our 1 inch, but right underneath your border here. And our 2 inch by 6 also, we're gonna have just a little bit of space here, I think. Almost continues the pattern, the colors just flow so nicely with this paper. And then we have our 2 inch by 6 inch here. That's also gonna go flush with this one. So let me push that down, run your edge exactly where it is, so the bottoms match up. And run up our page. So it's a little geometric, what can I say? And then our half circle goes here, coming out from the side of this. So it almost looks like it's tucked under, but it's not, because we know it's a half circle. And then we're gonna add our trees over on this side. So this is my transfer, the foiled transfer, and we're gonna do this again. Here we go. Try not to touch the copper part when you go to place this down. Over here, coming over, because I think I have a little bit of space there for that. Press it down, grab your multi-purpose tool and rub. Try to rub more on the copper part. I don't think the white part comes off, but not sure. I think it's been a month since I've actually used these. The last virtual crop, and I know with our brown background, we don't necessarily want the white to come out on it. So let's take a look and see how this is coming. Oops. I didn't get hard enough on part of that. Oops, the white's coming up. It's coming up, not down. Okay. So I did not rub hard enough to get my entire tree through here. That trunk is not coming nicely. Again, there's a little bit of a learning curve with these. If you don't do it all the time, there we go. May not turn out. So make sure to rub. I wonder if we can use the other side of this thing too. Maybe just do it that way. Or if you have the bone folder that Creative Memories had a couple years ago, or if you already have a bone folder from somewhere else, that may actually work a little bit better with these. I just thought of that now. And of course I didn't think to grab mine, and I don't know exactly where mine is. I'm gonna have to look. There we go. Okay, I wound up with a little bit of extra there, but I think I got pretty much all of it. Okay, and then we also have a extra darker brown tree that we're gonna place as well. Yeah, that wasn't my cleanest transfer ever, was it? It's okay. We're gonna pop this one up, get rid of that, put this up here, and we're gonna have to cut some foam squares. So I am going to probably put it on the sheet that I've already started cutting. Let me check this first. There we go. I'm gonna grab this one. Cut it in half straight because we have this straight base here. And I'm gonna add probably a little bit of my powder tool because we might be sticking a photo underneath in this area and I don't want my sticker sticking to my photo. Here we go, grab this, grab that. I like keeping some of my sheets from my foam squares whole, and I've shown you all that in some of my classes. It just works out for me. What am I doing? Powder. And so let's put it on here because I can always shake it off of my mat a little easier than getting it off of my desk. So I usually put it on before taking the backings, but I know a lot of advisors that pull the backings and then do the powder tool, but I like my foam squares to stick to the page, so I take the backings after I do the foam. I'm sorry, after I do the powder. Oy, oy, oy. All right, there we go. I think I had one come fly off. Oh, I didn't. Hang on. Oh, one more backing. Yep, no, because it definitely dulls the sticky on the foam square. Yep. But this one's going to come in over here with our other, let's see here. All right, we're going to place it a little bit lower and over, so maybe it'll cover up a little bit of my not so precise on my copper transfer. But there's that. I will show you photos coming up again in just a little bit. Left side of the page is done, if you can believe it. I think. Now I have, like I said, I have a whole bunch of extra here because I might add something else at the end, but I need to see both pages together and then see if I can remember where I was going with some of the other, but we'll get the right side done first. Oops. Okay, and like I said, we're going tree heavy this month. These are stickers, these are embellishments. Okay, this is behind that, so I probably need to place that first. And we have the other banner, we have another, this is the other 2-inch strip I was talking about. All right, let's get our 1 inch by, what was it, 10 inches? Strip placed first, because it looks like that's the start of this page. And again, we have the rest of that border sticker from last month, and that's going right here. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Placing it on the edge of our mat because it works, and it's a great place to put our border sticker. Let me make sure, hang on, that I have my lines on my base paper. Yeah, okay. Running the same direction. I was pretty sure, like I said, they were doing that Poolside Paradise one. That was a good reference because I knew I was running that direction, but now I have to remember where I put my ruler. Here we go. It's always a long time to talk on these now when I've been doing all 4 together. There's a lot of moving parts on these layouts. 1 inch. Oh, no. I need to go with the 5. For some reason I was thinking I was doing 1/4 of an inch down, and I wasn't. I'm centering that one. My 1 inch by 10 inch centering, so you're 1 inch from the bottom and 1 inch from the top of the page. I guess I probably should double check that as well before I move in too much. Yep. And then my oh, that was supposed to be over as well. Okay, let me fix that real quick. And then I'm gonna line up my other border strip here to run through as well. It runs over my 1 inch strip. And I noticed it on this side, but I didn't on this side, so let me just bring this up real quick, put it on top. Okay, simple as that. At least it's a quick and easy fix overall. If you have one of my favorite tools, multi-purpose tool, we've seen it a lot today. Let me grab another quick sip of water. It's just we still got things blooming here, so still having some allergy days. It is interesting. I think it'll be 73 or 74 here today. It's kind of nice, although I know I have long sleeves on. I don't know why I put long sleeves on because I think it was 45 or something this morning. So a big temperature swing today. Okay, let's finish up this right side of the page before I talk about the weather too much. All right, let's see here. We have two mats, and of course they match our base paper as well. This one has that mint on the back of it, and this one has a collection of happy memories. And then of course we have our 2" by 7 3/4, and we have the other half of our circle from the other side of the page. Should be good there. That should be good there. Okay. So our mat with this one is going really close to the edge here, and I have a 1/16 of an inch from the bottom here is listed on my thing, not an eighth, a 1/16. And then we have, I don't know if this may have to go over that a little bit too. We'll see. We have this other mat, but this is where our border sticker and our circle are going in here. So I think our circle is just a little bit under this other mat. This is up at the edge. Okay, so we're gonna have really tight here, about 1/8 of an inch again, like 1/16 from the bottom, so matching the other, and we're gonna give it 1/8, just so that we can see the little pop of our rhythms thing there. Our circle's gonna tuck under just a bit, and then I'm gonna get that other edge under this mat here. Okay. Oops, I knocked my circle. Come on, circle, work with me. Go back under. Don't stick down, go back under. There, okay. Back under. Nope. This isn't even stuck down all the way and it's not sticking. Okay, there we go. Goodness gracious. Some days it's easier than other days. Okay. There's that. There is this one. I feel good about that. This one is coming in above here. Again, we have about another 1/8 of an inch. This is coming in this corner here. So let's see how this is going to work out spacing wise for me. From the edge of the page, this one is actually flush, and flush with the top of our two mats again. Here we go. Okay. And I am missing a saying. Okay. I am missing an embellishment. So I don't know where it went, but I'll tell you what was going to be there, and you can decide if you want to add yours or not. Either way, it's okay. This is going up here because again, we have our trees on it and that's really fits our theme of our page. This is a sticker and the other two are embellishments. So our embellishments are going to go behind our sticker. I guess I should pop up our sticker because we popped up the one on the other side. These are going to go straight on the page. Regular tape runner here, just since it's a larger embellishment. And let's get our foam squares going on this one. And yeah, this was like a larger sticker. We don't usually have stickers quite so large, but it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And sometimes, like I said, I struggle sometimes with the large embellishments, but this one just seemed to work on this page. So that's where it's going. Actually, I should leave that on so we can get the placement first of our embellishments with our other trees, and then we can get our, I'll show you photos. Okay. So I have this one coming in here. So it's almost like we have a mini forest at the top of our page between both sides of our pages. This is going to scooch over a bit. And then we're going to have the other one coming in behind as well. So it does look like it's more of a forest. This may go underneath. Yep, it's going to go underneath the top of our mat as well. Because we want it to be on the page, not off the page. And it's just a little bit longer than the top of our mat there. Let's go ahead and get our backings off our foam squares. Here we go. And I like that this had these little bits of grass here. I just thought it was kind of fun. Oh, the grass is going under the mat. It's fun, but it's not going to be seen. I think I found it distracting. There we go. Aha, there we go. Yep, it is a little distracting, but it's okay. Our foam squares aren't making our mat go up too much, but again, 4.5 by 6.5, so it's no big deal. All right, let's see. What else was I going to add? Because I am missing at least one embellishment, and I don't know if it got stuck somewhere and fell off, or if I didn't, I thought I pulled it, because usually if I write it up, I would have pulled it, but I'm not seeing it, so. Oh, there it is. Because it's with my other banner sticker. That makes more sense. Okay. Oof. Hang on. Here we go. I got it. We need to put our other banner sticker on. Oh no. Okay, so this is going to run under our trees and behind our other banner. Oh boy. Yep. It's a good thing that's the last layout, right? Pick this up, pick that up, and get this on, and then I probably should have done this first like I did on the other side of the page. I probably need to flip my page too. Let me do this so that way it's easier on my eyes. And here, that's the one I was missing, that joyful state. I missed that I was missing my banner. It's a good thing they were together. It made it a little bit easier for me. Here we go. Put this on here and going across our page, lifting this up, and oops, it's sticking where it shouldn't be sticking yet. Okay, lift you up again. Here we go. And okay, this is gonna work out for me. I know it is. Definitely not easy. There we go. Alright, coming across the top of our page and put those back down. And then, there we go. That makes much more sense now, doesn't it? Here's our joyful state, and then I may bring in another one of these. We're gonna pop that up also. Where are my foam squares? I know I have one left on this sheet that's too big for that. That's probably why it's still there. And we'll do this and this. Put this up above our banner. I don't know why this page just spoke to me with having a lot more words on it. And so the banners are a nod to our other part of our sketch. Actually, that's why we just do this. And then I can get rid of this other one. Well, I probably should keep it if I need to cut more. I'll just leave that on the side. Okay, I have more leaves. I have these circles, but I want to put my photo cards on so I can see what makes sense if we need any more embellishing or decorative parts on this page. Because again, here's my sketch. There's a little bit here already. We've got the top covered. We had the banner I pulled, and then this is what kind of led for this. But as far as photos, she did have a larger photo here. We can place a larger photo here. We'll have a larger one here. Maybe we'll get a smaller one. We can journal in our half circle in either place. So let's grab photo cards and see what is going to work here. If we can get some of the larger ones on, I will. 4x6 for sure in our larger mat here. And I think we can fit one. No, we need a slightly smaller there. 5.5 by 3.5. 4x6 up here. And 5.5 by 3.5. You might be able to fit a 4x6 there. Let me see. Here's another. Yep. There's that. Here's that. So you can go larger, you can go a little bit smaller, however your photos work. And then we may do, let me put this on my lap. I'm actually going to pull this one because I think I can get two 3.5 by 5.5 up here. And that's why we use the powder on that tree. Okay, so definitely not as many and more smaller photos than what I typically do. If we do a smaller one up there, we can fit another. Hang on, where are they? Okay, well, here we go. This up here. I think if we do a smaller one up here, we can also fit a second photo. So I think if this one's here, you can fit a secondary one here or here. I think it's better here. But I mean, you get the idea of how you can fit two in this space there. You can also cut one with your circle cutter if you choose. But like I said, I think it makes more sense to journal down here, whereas this is more of a title, I think, space as well. So I have this today that's a sticker that I feel like could go here. So we're just going to place that one coming down from our circle a little bit. And again, it's a nod to those banners that were on the original sketch. I'll bring in the sketch again in a moment. And I don't know why these other ones spoke to me as far as like behind here. And I think I'm gonna do that. So let's do that real quick. These are stickers from our sticker pack as well. There's a copper one. It's gonna go behind our circle up here, just with the brown behind it. And I wanna layer it with our mint. So it's very mimicky of what my mats are for my circle. And we're just gonna layer, the circle in the center is the same. So look at that. Just layer those two. And then it mimics what we have within our circle that we cut in half. It's bringing that eye line through our page. And let's see, do we need any other foliage? Do we need any other, I feel like I need a little something here. I wonder if the pine, this is pine from the copper transfer pack. And this is from the embellishment pack. Actually feel like that might work over there, but I don't know, because it brings another copper element to the side of the page, which is good. But it's good to also have, maybe we should just do that through here then instead of the other, because then that way it'll be more symmetrical as well. So let's do that real quick. So 2 more transfers. Let's hope these go a little bit easier for me, because well, I guess that one's going there. Okay, stuck before I was ready to stick, but okay, you do you, copper transfer. And I'm just here along for the ride apparently. Let's see here. Is that one just gonna come up? All right, there's that side, and let's try this side over here. It's pretty in the middle of our layout. It adds that extra cohesive coloring through our pages too. It brings that over. And this is gonna bring it over to this edge. Nope. Oh man. Okay, well there we go then. All right, yep, don't place it unless you really want it placed, because they are sensitive, and apparently I lost part of my stem too. Okay, don't get it close to your paper until you're ready to place it. Like I said, a little bit of a learning curve. This one's going to be a little bit broken up because they do have that little bit of stick to them. So, okay. And I think I'm just going to leave it because, again, it's going to be in the page protector. We're going to have our photos. And somebody might notice, somebody might not notice, or they might just think that there's supposed to be a distressed look to our copper transfers or our copper highlights on our pages. All right, that is it for this month's virtual crop. I hope you all enjoyed seeing my interpretations of the sketches again this month. That was layout number 4. Let me put myself back on camera for you all so we can wrap this thing up. And there we go. Do I have, yep, we've got sound, we've got picture, and I can even make myself bigger, maybe not. I'll get there. I'll learn the new program. Don't you worry, next month should go smoother. And thank you all again so much for joining me on this new adventure with my new live streaming program. And I will look forward to seeing you all next month.